So Kevin and I, um, this month on Perfecting the Demo, we wanted to talk about the features and benefits of some of our favorite products that happen to be on sale right now in August. So we're going to focus on grilling and camping because it is still summer. You're still grilling. And if you're in Northeast Ohio, we grill until October.
Right.
And we camp until October too, I imagine.
Well,
And
some of us can't.
some of us camp. Kevin and I do not camp, but some of you may camp, which is great. So we've got a great product set that's awesome for camping. And a lot of schools go back after Labor Day as well. So we still have a whole full month of summer vacation. Um, our schools here locally go back in about 2.5 weeks, but it's still summer and it gets hot. So that is what we're going to focus on. So if you're watching us live, hi. If you are watching us on replay, just put in the comments hashtag replay so we can come back and say hi. You can always put our questions in like we do every month. You can put questions in. You can reach out to us. You know the drill. So here we go. Kevin, do you want to start or should I start?
Sure, I can start. So
Okay.
you guys, a product that Tupperware has brought back are our Fresh and Cools. I know you're not going to be able to see this really well, but all the materials are online. Now, the ones that I have here, you guys, are mine. These are not the colors from the sales brochure. It's just mindful. So these are just here to show you sizes and everything. But I love my Fresh and Cools. I use them all the time. So one of the biggest benefits of these is that they're clear, you guys, so we can see through them. You know, not a lot of our Tupperware is clear. So these are great for all kinds of storage. I mean, I literally use them everywhere. I have one in my bird food container, Lori, outside. Yeah, the large carryall, right, that you showed earlier. So I have one of these this size, like stuck down in my large carryall for my bird food because this is how I fill my bird food containers, right? But they're great for the garage. They're great for the kitchen. They're great for the pantry. They're great for camping. They're great for the motorhome. Anything in these, you guys. So this is your small, and then this is your medium size, and then this is your tall. All right. So you'll see the configuration on your shopping brochure. But this is what I really like about these, Lori, is that when you're not using them, this is how they store. I mean, isn't that amazing, you guys, how those nestle? So you do the small first, then your large, and they all sit beside one another. And then I take my seals and I do that. So when they're not in use, that's how I store them. All right. They have this little round circle on the top that helps, and on the bottom. So that helps these when you're stacking them, so that when they're stacking, they don't slide on top off the top of each other. All right. So the bottom circle nestles on the seal of the one that you've got. Right. So those are those. They look like little eyeballs. Right?
They do. They do. When these first came out, I was intrigued because they look like an eye with like a really pretty like liner.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
Now,
I love how they stack.
I don't have the rectangular ones, guys, but you'll see that in your printed brochure. The rectangle ones sit like right on top of this large one. So rectangles, just like that. And then this is the large one that you'll be able to see. I don't know, Lori, if you have a printed brochure, I'll put my glasses on. But this is your large one. I'm using this now in the basement because these are holding all my little sample cups. So when I go to Tupperware parties and I'm doing like a recipe and I want people to sample, I'll usually take these along. But this is your large one. In your brochure right now, they're showing it with cut watermelon, you guys. So that's your Fresh and Cool large square container. That's this one right down here. All right. But all of this is available to you online right now. Sales of these into the comment section of this. But these are your Fresh and Cools. You can order these as samples right now, you guys, if you want to show them at your August show. All right. But those are your Fresh and Cools. I just love them. Dishwasher safe. I believe I've seen a lot of chatter online about whether or not they are actually recommended for the freezer. I know people have put them in the freezer. I don't know if it's recommended for the freezer. I know when I would do stock, like chicken stock, I would freeze my chicken stock and this and put it in the freezer. I think the thing you just need to be mindful of, you guys, is that if you drop this and it's full of broth, it's going to clunk down on the floor and it could crack. That's the only caution. So don't be fumble fingers and drop your Tupperware on the floor because it might crack if it's frozen. That's all.
And that's a really good point. You know, a lot of people say, is it freezer safe? There are many products with Tupperware, as we know, Kevin, that people put into the freezer. Some things that I put into the freezer, you put into the freezer that aren't made for the freezer. So, right, that's the point that you make to your customers. If they decide to put it in the freezer and drop it and crack it, then of course that wouldn't be under a warranty because they didn't use it as directed. But they're not made for the freezer. I love them because they're clear and they're more along the storage line. They stack kind of like modular mates. You can put in fruits kind of like Fridge Smarts, right? They don't prolong anything, but it's kind of that in between. I think of it as an in between product where you can put them into the refrigerator and store. You can bring them out, serve fruit, all of that happy stuff. So I love the Fresh and Cool. So grab them if you don't have them.
Yeah, they're great for cut up fruits too. Grapes, melon, stuff like that. Stuff that you're going to eat sooner than later. Not so much for prolonged storage, you guys. But they're just great. They're great to have for your own personal use, and they're great to have to show at your parties this summer.
Right. Okay, great. All right. So if you have any questions on the Fresh and Cool, pop them into the comments and we'll come back to that. So the other three products that I really, really love, and Kevin has the bigger size. This is the Piccadilly. And I'm sure if you've been in Tupperware for any amount of time, you have one of these. This came out of my refrigerator, and so did this one. So our family likes different pickles. We like sandwich pickles. Some of us like the gherkin ones, the whole round ones. But this is the small, and Kevin's got the larger one. So this month, your customers can get the big one and the little one in a dual package, I think for $30. But what I love about this is that it doesn't create a mess. So you can pull it out and you can grab whatever pickles you want without getting your hands dirty. You store it in its own juice, and it's great because as you add more pickles to this, you just spill out the pickle juice in here. So you can constantly add to it. But every kitchen needs this. This, I think, is one of those products that you didn't really know that you needed until you have it. Yeah. Right, Kevin? It's like, I can't live without them. Right. You know, I didn't have these in my refrigerator. And the jars are small, and trying to like get your fingers in there to try to get that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, right. They're also really good if you're snacking on like carrots and celery. You can pre-cut those and store them in like water, so that then the kids or the family or whoever, you just need a quick snack of cut vegetables. You just pull this up and grab your carrots and your celery out or whatever.
And people pickle eggs, which I don't do. Have you ever done that, Kevin?
Yeah, pickled eggs, or oh my gosh, you just made me think of something and now I forgot. It'll come back to me. But yeah, pickled eggs. Mushrooms. Have you ever had marinated mushrooms?
Oh, yeah, I have.
Marinate your mushrooms, and same thing. Pull up your elevator, and then just take out what you need.
Yes, I would do that. I don't know if I would pickle the eggs and eat those, but definitely for pickles and everything else that we mentioned. But this is like a kitchen staple. You need these. Okay. The other kitchen staple that you need, and I've had this product. I was telling Kevin before we started here. This is the hot dog keeper. I have had mine probably as long as I've been in Tupperware, which is now a little over 8 years. This was one of the first things that I got, and it's in my freezer all the time. And after 8 years, look at that. I've never replaced it. It's still the same. Works perfectly. This is made for the freezer, right? Tupperware has their products that can withstand the freezer. And this, honestly, now that I think about it and say it out loud, this has been in my freezer for 8 years.
Wow.
All the time. Very rarely will it come out to wash it and dry it. but we love hot dogs. So, I mean, gosh, 8 years it's been in the freezer. So I like it because it keeps your hot dogs like they're frozen like this, right? So if you don't have one of these, you've got this pack of hot dogs and you want to have one hot dog, well, this is frozen. So how are you going to get one hot dog out of here? You're going to open it up and you're going to take a knife and you're going to start stabbing at your hot dogs, which normally will lead to cutting yourself. And then you've got a whole nother problem.
Right.
So you can't crack off just one. This is frozen. So why not store them in here? So the cool thing about this is that they're individual.
Perfect.
So what I do is I freeze my hot dogs, obviously. And when I'm ready to fill this, I defrost this almost all the way. So when I cut it open, I can pull apart the frozen hot dogs. All right. And I put them in here. Look at that. And there's little arrows, little pokey things, the proper technical term, the pokey things on the bottom. What?
They look like pyramids. They look like
Yes.
pyramids.
The little pokey pyramids on the bottom of the hot dogs keep them separated. So it's like the best thing. So if I want one hot dog, I can grill one hot dog. I can have two, and it holds it holds almost a whole packet. Because what I do, this is just a little tip. What I do is I push them to one side, and you can get, if they're not like really big and fat, you can squeeze another one in this way.
Good.
Right? Take one of the skinnier ones. Like this one's skinny. I don't know. My hot dogs are different sizes, just like everyone else's, I'm sure. So this one you can stick on the side. So you could get an extra one in there. But it keeps them separated. Isn't that cool?
I love it. You know what you could probably also do with that, Lori, because our slim, you know that I can't remember what they call it. What we call grandma's bacon keeper, right? That's not around right now.
Oh.
The slim.
Yeah.
Right. Since that's not available right now, that probably could be used for your bacon. And what I do with my bacon in the other container is before I freeze the bacon, you roll your bacon up into little bacon rounds, and you could put your little bacon rounds in there and freeze it. So when you just need like 4 or 5 of bacon, just take out what you need for your recipe and then put the rest of the bacon back in the freezer.
And you could do that here. I mean, You could double this. Like, say you don't like hot dogs. Who doesn't like hot dogs? But if you're un-American and you don't like hot dogs, you can put bacon in here because it's got the little pyramids. Same thing. Yeah. Right.
So you could use that since we don't have the other one right now. They do that.
Yeah. But now that the Bacon Keeper is available, I think it's $15 on sale.
Hot dogs, $15.
$15. Grab it. Grab a couple. I mean, you're going to love them. And if you do shows, you're going to sell these. So it is great any time of the year. Okay. So the last thing is our our hamburger keeper and our hamburger press. All right. So this is the press. So if you've never seen it, this is one of our most sought after products. This is what everybody asks for. And what it does, if you're not familiar, is it makes perfect hamburgers. So you can take these keepers, right? They push down and they stack together, and you put the cover on it. There's a seal that comes with it. You can freeze 4 hamburgers, and they just pull apart. Same idea as the hot dog keeper. They are individualized, and you can use just one. Personally, I don't do that. What I do, and Kevin can tell you what he does, is when I buy my ground meat, I buy it in 1 pound packages, and I freeze 1 pound in my freezer mates, and around a pound will make 4 hamburgers. So when we grill, just the size of our family, we grill 4. So I make 4, but I don't store 4 normally. If I pull out more and I make them for a party, then I might. But normally I just use 1 keeper and 1 insert and the press. Now, the one tip that I will say is you roll your hamburger into a ball, not a huge one. Split your pound into 4 balls and put one in the middle. But this is one of the very few products that I use cooking spray. But I spray this with cooking spray. I spray down on the bottom and I spray this press because it will tend to stick a little bit on the press. So I suggest putting cooking spray down. You put it in and you press it down and you turn it. Like I turn it, I kind of wiggle it around, and it'll make a perfect hamburger, a 1/4 pound. And then I take this out. This is kind of like the guide that keeps it round. And you could keep it like this, but they very easily pop out onto the plate. So that is how I use my hamburger press. And everyone asks for this. Everyone. If you go out into the community and you're at a show or someone finds out that you sell Tupperware, the hamburger press is bound to come up because this has been around forever.
And chances are, like, we haven't seen the new fall holiday catalog, guys. Chances are this product is not going to be the new catalog. I mean, typically it's a seasonal item. It will not transfer into the fall holiday catalog. And that's probably why they're featured now in our August brochure. So this is the time to push this. This is the time to get your own. We don't know what's coming up with the fall holiday catalog very soon after Jubilee. So, you know what? You can do turkey burgers in that too. You can make patties, excuse me, crab patties, salmon patties. It works for all that kind of stuff. You can make ice cream sandwiches with it. You can put your ice cream, your cookie upside down in there, and then put your Daba ice cream, press it, twist it, and then your other cookie goes on top. So you can make ice cream sandwiches with it too.
Yes, perfect. There are so many uses for this. Mainly people want it for hamburgers, but as Kevin said, give them the other ideas and they'll use them for that.
Yeah. And the cooking, thanks for talking about the cooking spray, because they do get the fat in the beef tends to want to stick to the mold. So cooking spray helps it pop out of there. When you're doing them to grill right now, I don't mind that much if I'm pressing them and storing them, pressing them and storing them, that's fine. But if you're molding them to put on the barbecue right now, you want to use your cooking spray.
Yes. One of the few products in Tupperware that I use cooking spray on, because most things are nonstick and they're great and you don't need cooking spray. So, as Kevin said, good point. It will not, we're just going by experience. It probably will not be in the fall catalog that is coming out this month. Well, in August, calendar month of August. So grab them, get them, and have them for the winter. When someone's like, oh, do you have that hamburger press? You can say, I do. And you can make your customer happy in the middle of winter.
Right.
Because people, a lot of times, Kevin, they don't think about like this product or this product until summertime starts to come. And then they're scrounging around looking for them. And you've got them right here to do. So reach out personally, of course, as we always say, reach out personally to your people and let them know what is on sale and get that into their hands.
And Lori and I always encourage you guys, instead of talking about everything that we have, pick those few items, which is why we were talking about, grilling and camping, because you literally could do a show or a virtual demonstration just with the products that we just talked about. And you could even put if you're good with Canva and stuff like that, take them and make a flyer. You could even group the products together so that they make sense and you show people how they all work together. Because, everyone wants to put dill slices on the hamburger. So you're going to talk about this, you're going to talk about the small one, talk about the hot dog keeper, you talk about the hamburger press. So that is really your grilling essential set, right? And if you throw the marinator in, you could, even though it's not in this flyer, you could put a whole grill flyer together, guys, and just promote that to you.
Absolutely. You don't have to stick to just sales items. That's a great tip. So pull out the marinator, right? And feature that. So think outside the box of what Tupperware gives you in the sales flyer and kind of look through the catalog and see what's there. What else can you group together? because people want sets and you want to sell them sets,
right?
Because it helps you and them to do that. So perfect example. So if you have any ideas on sets that you want to put down in the chat, please feel free to do that. Let's help each other out and get the end of the summer selling season off to a good start to kick off fall. Right?
Awesome. Yeah.
All right. Well, we hope that you guys have a great August, and we will be back in September to help with your demo then. So,
Buddy.
Yep. So you guys have a good month, and we will see you in September.
Bye. Take care, everybody.
Bye.